Williams, welcome to the Sunita Williams Elementary School.
It's an honor to be here. It gives me chills every time I walk up and look at the school. It's just spectacular. And to see all the kids running around as they came in this morning and waving through the window, it just makes me feel great. So it's great to be here.
So I have to ask you, you driving up, and you've done this several times now, you see the school and your name is just kind of splashed in front of the school.
I have to look down, because it feels like a little, of course it's humbling, but it's a little like you feel like, oh, that's not my name. That's a little embarrassing. It's weird, but it's actually super cool. Like I mentioned, I just know what it means to have these kids know that there's somebody who's connected with the school, who's alive, for one thing, and
yes.
for second thing is I'm still working, and I get to go to space one more time, and I get to share it with them. So that's pretty neat, and I know, to me it gives me a lot of purpose, and in the future I'd like to come back and talk to these kids about, one, my mission, and two, just about science in general and opportunities. And so it just makes me happy every time I drive up. Except for I have a big car, and it's hard to find a parking spot for my big car.
Well, we discovered that we built too many compact slots, so we're going to have to figure that out. Well, and it's not just the Sunita Williams Elementary School, because the entire community and the Needham Public Schools is just so thrilled and excited for you, and the fact that you are one of our educators. I mean, that's really what you've become. Besides a role model and an astronaut and an officer in the Navy, a retired officer. You are a role model for our kids, for our staff, and I think I'm going to have to make it happen, because I'll have some angry high school students if I don't. The next time you're in town, we've got to get you over to the high school.
Absolutely. I was just going to say that to you. I was like, it's wonderful to come here, and it's nice to connect, and I know a lot of the teachers as well as the students here. I was just talking to some second graders, and I remember them as, kindergartners, because I've been a couple of years now, and that's great, but, there's part of the things that I've been able to do that I'd love to share with the kids who are getting ready to think about their next steps in life and going to college and potentially leaving the town of Needham, and that's scary as it is. So just talking to them about opportunities and stuff. Yeah. So yes, absolutely, I would love to go talk to the high schoolers.
Well, we're going to make that happen, and we'll make it happen after your upcoming launch.
Yes.
So. Tell me about the launch. When is the launch? What are some of the details? It's on the Starliner.
It's on Starliner, which is made by Boeing. It's launching on an Atlas V rocket, which is a heritage rocket. Have sent spacecraft all over our solar system, so it's a very reliable rocket. But this will be the first time we put humans on it. There's been a lot of integration, practice, and experimentation of certain parts of the spacecraft and the rocket, and it's taken a little while. Patience is a virtue, and we're getting there. And right now, the spacecraft is actually getting all buttoned up. It's packed. I saw my luggage on board already. So it's getting all buttoned up so they can fuel it, which means they're real serious about getting ready to launch it. So our launch date moved around a little bit in the short term, from April 14th to the 22nd to the 26th, and it might move a little bit more. And why? Because there's a traffic jam at the space station. It's not because there's anything more issues with our spacecraft or our rocket. That's all getting put together, but we've had one spacecraft after another going up to the space station, and they want to clear us a window of about a couple months, so we make sure our test flight, might have a couple starts and maybe not go right away, just to make sure everything's all squared away. So they want to give us as much runway as possible to make sure we're successful and get to the space station. So right now the 26th, but might be early May.
This is a test flight for the Starliner, and to go up and back to the space station and back. So what comes after a test flight? Just routine?
Well, we're going to take a bunch of data on the way up, because we're going to actually, this is the first time people are in it, so we're going to actually do manual flying of the spacecraft, trying to do manual pointing, for example. That the automation should do this, but in case there's a problem with automation, we can do manual pointing ourselves to track stars for our guidance navigation control. We can do manual pointing to put our solar rays toward the sun. We can do manual flying of down mode systems on the spacecraft in case we lose a couple systems. So we're going to try all that out, so the next folks that fly this thing know that all that stuff absolutely works without a problem. So it's making sure all our procedures, all of our emergency procedures, are all absolutely correct. So we'll dock to the space station. We'll actually shut it down as well, like get it to quiescent mode. Like
shut the Starliner down.
Shut the Starliner down,
okay,
and leave it there for a couple days. and then start it
reboot
back
it.
up. Yeah, reboot it. So everybody knows there's always something that we're going to find when you start something back up again. So we'll do that, and then we'll undock and we'll come home.
And how long will you be on the ISS?
So it depends, because we have to have good landing weather. We are landing on land. So we are landing in either Arizona, New Mexico, or Utah on the big flat playas out there. And there's big, flat. So there's, so we have a little area where we have picked out a 4-kilometer circle, but in case we're a little bit off, there's flat area around that, because we don't want to hit anything.
Memorial Field.
Yeah,
right by
yeah,
Needham
we can
High
do it right
School
here.
is a flat area.
We could do it right
if
here.
You could, it's
That
open.
would be pretty
we can
awesome.
make that happen if that's.
We could target that, actually. The spacecraft has that capability. So we have to wait for good weather in that part of the world. So make sure we can come down.
When you're thinking about going up, and you've been up there before, is there something that you bring with you, or is there some good luck charm, some special food, a book, or something that you, or maybe you're not going to tell me, but is there something that you bring up there?
Absolutely, but I'm not going to tell you everything.
Okay, that's all right. That's
You'll
fine.
have to wait and see. But actually, you are right. We pick out some of our own specialty stuff that we want. The size of essentially a shoebox of stuff that we could bring with us, some little mementos. Our family also gets asked if they want to send a couple things up, and it might have gone up in a spacecraft before we get there, so it's waiting for us, particularly the stuff from our families. And then, some stuff, obviously, I have some Sunita Williams Elementary School stuff with me, of course. I have some
Excellent.
Navy stuff with me, of course.
Okay.
The things that, things that mean a lot to me. So you'll see. There's a couple more surprises.
All right, well, that sounds great. Well, so now in the meantime, as you're getting ready for that, it is just awesome that you made time, what is a crazy time for your schedule, to be here with our students. Tell me, what did you do here today? What are some of the activities today?
Yeah, so I was talking to the principal, Kiana, and I said, I'd love to just say hi and make sure the kids know when the launch happens what it's all about. Like, it seems so esoteric. I can imagine when I was this age, like somebody said, hey, there's going to be a launch. I'm like, oh yeah, that's great, whatever, some rocket goes. But the video that I prepared for these kids showed like all the different parts of it, like the rocket, the spacecraft on top of the rocket, how it actually gets to space, and then how it actually does the docking to the space station, and how we come home. There's all sorts of moving parts and little explosions with ordnance, because different things have to come off of the rocket and the spacecraft at different certain times, right? So just to explain all that, so when if and when they see it, hopefully, knock on wood, coming up pretty soon, they'll be like, oh, now I remember, because I saw the video and she told me about what's going on. So
that's great.
And hopefully they can picture, like, I'm in there. Like
Well, and you also, besides explaining to them how this is all going to happen, the launch and with the Starliner, you've also been to, and you're going to every classroom to have a photo taken with that class as a memento for them, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, I remember, the photos when I was in 5th or 6th grade, those small little pictures of 20 kids with my teacher, and I still have some of those. I can identify all the kids versus 100 kids. So I thought that would be sort of cool. So we've been running through getting all the pictures taken, and it gives 5-10 minutes with that specific classroom if kids were shy and they weren't asking questions with the big group. So it's been really cool. There've been some great questions.
Well, they're just they're thrilled that you are here, and again, the fact that during what is an amazingly challenging schedule for you and for your team, that you can make time for them, says a lot about who you are as a person, as a role model, as a teacher, and really as a partner in education with the Needham Public Schools and the Sunita Williams students as well. So we really
hopefully you won't get sick of me, because I'll be back.
We are looking forward to you coming back, and we're excited about you coming back. In the meantime, though, we want to wish you a safe journey, and we're excited for you. We're looking forward to seeing video and footage and the newscast and the whole thing, and we'll make sure that we get that news around. But Sunny, good luck on the launch.
Thank you very much.
And we'll see you when you come back.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Back on Earth. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.